Daily Animated Text. Good morning to all those who love Jehovah God, to this spiritual breakfast. Topic for today is
Jehovah will never abandon you.
And the daily text that we will analyze today is
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5.
For he has said, I will never leave you, and I will never abandon you.
Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters. Today's daily text takes us back to the time when the Christians of Judea were subjected to cruel opposition. In order to encourage them, the Apostle Paul reminded them in a letter of the words Jehovah spoke to the Israelites when they were about to enter the Promised Land. I will never abandon you. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. Without a doubt, this promise strengthened the Hebrew Christians of the first century and us who read today's text as well.
Before Israel entered the Promised Land, Moses died. What happened to God's people? Without that faithful man, were they left in the lurch? No. As long as they were faithful, Jehovah provided for them. Before Moses died, Jehovah told him to commission Joshua to lead the people. Moses had been training Joshua for decades. In addition, there were many other capable men taking the lead, chiefs of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and even tens. God's people were well cared for. We find a similar example in Elijah. He had been taking the lead in pure worship among the Israelites for decades. But the time came when Jehovah transferred him to a different assignment, down south in Judah. Were faithful people in the 10-tribe kingdom of Israel abandoned? No. Elijah had been training Elisha for years. There were also the sons of the prophets, who were evidently organized into schools of some kind. 2 Kings 2:7. Thus, many faithful men were available to help lead God's people. Jehovah's purpose kept advancing, and he cared for his faithful worshipers.
Daily Text Lessons.
Thinking about these biblical examples mentioned in today's text, what do you think will happen to God's people in these last days? There's no need to go into too much detail, considering that today's text assures us that Jehovah will never abandon us. As was the case with Moses and Elijah, the small group of anointed Christians leading Jehovah's people today knows the importance of training others. In fact, these helpers being trained are already handling many responsibilities well. They are clearly well prepared to care for Christ's sheep.